I am a firm believer that you are only as successful as the team that you have around you. And that goes for any industry, but it's especially true in the drone industry. It is such a rapidly evolving industry, and we're still in such an infant stage that having the key components around you will determine your success or failure. And for me personally, here with Full-Time Drones and building our FTD Launch online platform, I feel like we have the best in the industry working with us. I felt it was only right to give them the shout out they deserve in our monthly spotlight. This month we have McKenzie Gossett. He's been with us since 2022. I met him in 2021. He was working job to job and looking for an opportunity to start a career. We met through a mutual friend, and when I was working doing a telecom project in Atlanta, Georgia, he drove up from Savannah. And he met me on site at 7:30, and we started working. We worked about a half a day, and when we stopped for a lunch break, he said, hey, I've got a job, I've got to get back home, I've got to start the evening shift. So I was impressed, and I was talking to our mutual friend about how impressed I was with him. He was very attentive. He asked all the right questions. He jumped right in and was helping immediately, where most people that want to train, they want to come in and talk about how cool drones are, and I feel like they're not really paying attention. So I was really captivated by his attention to detail. And our mutual friend was explaining to me that, hey, he was really sorry that he had to leave, but he put his last $20 in his gas tank to get up there, and he had to get home to work his shift, and he hopes that doesn't reflect negatively on him. And that it hit me right in my feels that somebody was willing to invest the last $20 they had for an opportunity, not a guarantee, just an opportunity. So at the first chance we had to bring McKenzie on in-house, we brought him on as a W-2 pilot. And he started off working in the telecom infrastructure inspection industry and blossomed within just a couple of months. I was really impressed. After about 6 months of doing this, he was our top performing pilot. We've got some really good ones on our team. And over the next year and a half, he traveled the country working in rough terrain, working in snow conditions, working in the heat of Florida in the summer, and never once complained, never once made an excuse for production. He just continued to grind it out. And I was so blown away by how impressive he was that we ended up having to put a bonus program in place just for him, because what we were paying him was not worth what he was earning us. He was getting the short end of the stick. So we put a bonus program in place to track and to compensate fairly for what he was producing. And at the end of 2023, McKenzie actually transitioned from a W-2 pilot to a 1099 pilot, setting himself up with all his own gear and his own business. And it was a challenging time, because it's like, hey, this could go really well, or this could go really poorly, but I was proud of him for taking on the challenge and making something out of it. And it was a rough couple of months to start because of how bad the winter was. Most of our work was in Colorado and Iowa, and so it was just a really, really rough area for access. But he continued to grind through it and just blossomed, and now is one of our top performing pilots. And I even mentioned that, hey, I'm going to tell your story, and that you went from making $15 an hour at Chick-fil-A or $18 an hour at Amazon to now you're going to make over $200,000 in 1 year as a drone pilot. And I said, I'm not going to put your info out there. And he said, no, please do. I want people to know what you can do if you have the motivation and the drive and you have somebody buy into what you're doing. So McKenzie, this is your shout out. Thank you so much for all that you do for us here at Full-Time Drones, for everything that you've done to help us get FTD Launch out into the world, and for continuing to help us grow within the industry.